December 15th, and it hasn't snowed for 3 days in a row now. But it's been so doggone cold, it's just about impossible to do much of anything. Last night it got down to about 4, and today it's warmed up to a blistering 17. We had clear blue sky for a while this morning, starting to get some clouds come in now. Forecast is for a chance of snow tomorrow, and then we're supposed to get just partly cloudy weather for the next few days after that. Haven't got a whole lot done. I took the tracks off the Bobcat and put the tire chains on, and I had to go get some more fuel to run the Bobcat because it's just about out. Well, I had to go clean off my pickup. Yeah, it took most of the day yesterday. Today, I just haven't got out and got anything done. Well, we got the water heater in the cabin is froze up. So we got a heater going in there trying to get that thawed out. It got so cold overnight that it just overwhelmed that little heater that I had in there, and it looks like the water heater froze up or quit working or something. Got a heater in there, a bigger heater in there in the pump house thingy, and trying to get it heated up now. I suppose the water in the big house is probably froze up now with this cold weather the last few days. Snow packed and ice on the driveway. It was slippery for a day or so, but it's not slippery anymore. Everything is sticky now because it's so cold. Judy's got to go check her eggs every day. She doesn't check them in the morning and the afternoon, then they'll freeze. We've had so much snow that the State Department hasn't been plowing the highway out past the fish hatchery. So usually we drive out there to take the dogs for their walk in the evening, in the morning, and let them run along one of the side roads and stuff, but they haven't been plowing that out. So in the morning, in the daytime, my son and my wife go out, and they've been putting snowshoes on and going out snowshoeing out around the countryside and having a blast doing that, and the dogs love that. But at night it's dark and we can't really do that. Normally we just run them along the road. Well, roads aren't plowed out there, so we've got to go on the highway. We got to get out late enough that we can go out when there's no traffic. I walked them the other night. I walked about 2 miles and did my ankle in. I haven't hardly been able to walk for the last couple of days. So between the cold and my ankle hurting, I haven't been getting much done. So anyway, that's about the report for the day. I was thinking about getting up there on the hanger and shoveling that off again, but I got to let this ankle heal up a little bit more. So about the most I'm doing is going back and forth from the woodshed into the shop and hauling wood in there and burning up all my wood. December 16th, and another beautiful day today. It warmed up a little bit. It's 20 degrees today. Yesterday it only got up to about 18 or so, 17, 18. The sunrise this morning was just beautiful. A little bit of high, thin cirrus clouds, really high, thin cirrus clouds when the sun came up. And that mountain over there was just glowing orange. Just gorgeous. It got down to 5 degrees night before last. We thought it was going to get cold again last night. Started to make Zen come in the house. He doesn't like coming in the house very much or being inside very much. He just hated it. We brought him in. I come out about midnight, put some wood on the fire in the shop, and I noticed it had warmed up to 19 degrees. It had been 16 or 17 degrees earlier that evening. So anyway, he was whining and crying and wanting out, so I let him out. And he sat there in his doghouse just like a king. He just loved it. Sitting there just about like he is now, just looking out, surveying his domain. So that made him happy. Not sure what's going on now. The forecast for today was it overcast and 40% chance of snow. And now they've got a warning, a weather warning up. It's either gonna cloud up and get 4 to 6 inches of snow. Hey, don't fight with that, cat. Cat's playing with the tripod. Anyway, it's either going to cloud up and get 4 to 6 inches of snow, or it's going to warm up and we're going to get a 1/4 inch of rain, or it's going to stay clear and sunny and it's going to be cold. So those are our options for tomorrow. Not sure what's going on. It's had about a week of this clear weather, cold weather, and I haven't got a whole lot done. I haven't really had much enthusiasm to get out in this cold weather. Now in the past, I've liked getting out in the cold weather here when we've had this freezing cold weather because it's dry. Normally it's wet and rainy and whatnot. But on those years when I was able to get out and get stuff done, we didn't have all the snow on the ground. Right now we've got 3 feet of snow on the ground around here, so to do anything, we've got to deal with the snow before we do anything else. So I haven't really had much incentive to get out and do anything. But I got to get something done while the weather's still halfway decent. So first thing I'm going to do here now is get up there on that roof of that hangar and clean off some of the snow up there. Man, Cat, you're really going to town on that tripod. Cat's having so much fun with the tripod here that... Anyway, go put the camera away and I'll get to work. DDSS. Different day, same stuff. Well, I guess the weatherman was right. The forecast yesterday was that it was either going to be clear and cold today, a trace of snow, or rain. It was clear and cold up until about 4:30 this morning or 5 o'clock this morning. And then we got a little bit of overcast came in and we got a trace of snow. I guess you could call that a trace because it's about 2 inches or so. It didn't warm up enough to rain though, so it was only 2/3 right, I guess. So we'll just keep on keeping on here. I started shoveling the roof off, or cleaning the roof off of the hangar yesterday afternoon, and I got a good portion of it done. I still got to get the rest of it done, but it got dark and I quit. I was having trouble with my snow scoops there. They're past their replacement date by, but we don't really have a replacement for them, so kind of taking it easy on them and trying to hold them together as long as I can. If it doesn't look like much snow up there from here looking at the front, but once I got up there, it was deeper than I thought it was, and it's heavier than I thought it was. It's about 6 inches or 8 inches of wet, heavy snow on the bottom that's froze up that kind of got to dig out, and then there's about a foot of powdery stuff on top of that. The powdery stuff doesn't weigh much, but the stuff underneath it does. So it's a good thing I didn't wait any longer, wait until we snowed again before I went up there and shoveled that off. That was quite a bit of weight up there. Got to get this little roof over the basement cleaned off, but that snow has not slid down off of the roof any at all. The heat of the building is not making that snow melt and slide off there. That's from the warmer air that we had, and that stuff's froze on there now. It's probably not going to come off, so it might be safe to get up there on that basement roof and clean it off. But we'll just keep plugging away on a little bit of stuff at a time. Guess we're never going to get done with this as long as the winter's here and it keeps snowing like this, but it gives us something to do every day anyway, something to look forward to in the morning. We're back to nice weather again for a few days. Forecast now is for cold and clear weather for the next 4 or 5 days until we get another little shot of snow. This is the longest stretch of dry weather that we've had since the middle of August, I think. With the cold weather and the snow, I haven't had much enthusiasm, but I've been getting out and getting some stuff done. Plow snow when it snows and shovel off roofs and other things when it doesn't. I've been holding off on doing this porch roof over the basement because we've got all of that snow there just hanging, but it just doesn't move. It hasn't hardly moved any at all. So I'm going to have to get up there and get that done before it snows again. We got ice and snow on that porch roof. I've got my snow rake out there. I've got a long handle on it. I'm going to see if I can knock enough of that stuff down there that I can get up in there and get that done. Don't want to get underneath that too bad with it hanging like that. That's frozen snow. It's pretty heavy, but you also got those daggers hanging down from it. I'm going to take the snow rake and see if I can knock that stuff loose a little bit there and then shovel that porch roof off. Well, that roof is cleaned off. That wasn't as much snow on there this time as there was last time. The only problem was that there was a big pile of it there where the drip edge is off that main roof, and that was froze in there hard. That was solid ice in there. It took some chipping to get it out of the way. But we got that one cleaned up. Now Judy's over there with the roof rake cleaning off the little shed where the wall panels are for the extension onto the house. She did that a few days ago, and now she's doing it again. She's got a pile of snow there behind that little shed, tall enough that she could step right over onto the shed if she wanted to, on the pile that she's raked off of it before. And then she gets waist deep, has to go stomp it down again and make a new platform to work on. My son just showed up to help, and we'll see if we can't get him to work on one of the other sheds. There's one other little shed that I made down here for a paint booth that now has got a whole bunch of stuff stored in it, and it's just got a flimsy roof on it. I'm surprised it's still holding up, but see if we can't scrape some of the snow off of it. Now we're starting to get a sunset. Well, it's not quite 3 o'clock yet. We're starting to get a sunset in the clouds there. Some fire in the sky. So anyway, I got to go get the Bobcat. I got it warmed up. I've got a few things to do to clean some of this stuff up around here. So I'll go get the Bobcat out and get busy, get started and get to work. Now, we've had a chance to get caught up with things. We've got the driveway plowed out and the hangar shoveled off for the second time, and the porch roof over the basement shoveled out for the second time. That little shed that we've, temporary shed that we've got the walls for the house addition cleaned off again. The bathhouse there, the new tarp on it, the snow slides off it pretty good, but it built up along to where it couldn't slide off anymore. So my son went down there yesterday afternoon and dug out along it so that snow has a place to slide. And then I've got a little shed that I built as a temporary paint booth here several years ago that wound up being a storage shed, and the roof on it's not made for any heavy weight, so he started cleaning it off. So we're getting pretty well caught up with the snow here now. I've got to take advantage of this dry weather to get other stuff done. I've been procrastinating and kind of not doing much, being lazy, getting out and cleaning up a little bit and stuff, but I haven't been real enthused about getting out here in this cold weather and doing anything, especially with all the snow. But we got to take advantage of the dry weather when we get it, so I'm going to see if I can't start getting some stuff done. Well, I've got the Bobcat warming up, and I've got the pickup down there behind the cabin on the pad where we're going to build the warehouse. It's covered with snow, that pad is, so I've got the pickup warmed up. I'm going to move it out of there. I'm going to take the Bobcat in there and clean the snow out of that area. We've got so much snow that I'm kind of running out of spots to put it down there. So I'm going to have to take it out of there and push it down to the highway and then clean out down on the highway and get that cleaned out. I've got my wood splitter here. It's buried in the snowbank, but on the other side of that is the dozer blade for plowing snow. And now that the ground is froze up hard, I can use it and start scraping the snow and kind of polish it up and peel it down. I wasn't using it before because the ground was so soft that it has a tendency to gouge in, and I've got all that new rock on there I don't want to get rid of. So I was using the bucket, and that was working pretty good. I mostly kept from gouging up the rock on it with it. But it doesn't do as good a job of polishing the snow up and cleaning things up. So I got to get that blade out, dozer blade out, so I can use it. And to get it, I need to get that wood splitter out of the way. So I'm going to pick that place down there on the pad. I'll move the wood splitter down there, and then I'll get the dozer blade out, get it set up so I can start using it. And I got trying to clean this place up here a little bit so I can get some of that stuff back in here and maybe get around the house and put that work on that timber back there, or the beam back there for the house addition. But again, I got all this stuff up here and I don't have any place to put the snow, so I'm going to have to figure out something to do with that. I guess I'm going to have to scoop it out of here, put it in the driveway, and then push it down. But I got to get busy in doing it. Forecast is for more dry weather, cold dry weather. It's supposed to get cold down into the single digits at night and just up to 15 or so in the daytime now. We got to take advantage of the dry weather we can get it. It's too cold to work in the shops like that. I can't get the shops warmed up enough to work comfortably in there. So I might as well be doing stuff out here and catching up with some of this stuff we couldn't get done through the summer because it was too wet to do. Anyway, that's what we're going to do here now. Zan knows I'm going to go to work, so he wants to go in the basement and hide, so I'll let him go in the basement and hide, and we'll get busy and get to work. Got my zoot suit on here. My son got a set of Carhartt insulated coveralls that are really too bulky and heavy to do any work in, but they're just right for sitting in that Bobcat and working around in it where you're not moving a whole lot. We got the all suited up in that, so I'm ready to go to work here. Got to get her done. I'll get back to work.